Okay guys, my name's Ian and this is my review of the Hiby R5 Gen 2 digital audio player. So if you are serious about listening to high resolution audio, this should be one of the devices that you should get. Before I begin my review, I hope that you guys can subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Right, so this is a mid-tier type of digital audio player. It's retailing for $450 US. I got mine from hifigo.com. So if you guys are interested, you can go check out that link. And yeah, so I'm really happy with this digital audio player. We call it a DAC. So let's take a look on the inside. Obviously, I've used it, so it's just for you guys to see how it is on the inside. So this is the player. Let's put it one side first. Take a look at the accessories. Okay. So you do get some paperwork and QC check, warranty card, quick guide, and an extra screen protector on the inside. And you get a leather case. So I like this leather case. It's blue. It's kind of suede on the inside, and it's hard, so it protects the DAC, which is very good. I like this leather case. Okay, let's put this one side. And this is the device itself. Let's power it up. Okay, so this device has got a very special amplifier inside, and it is a Class A headphone amplifier. And this is actually one of the main reasons why I got this device, is because of the Class A headphone amplifier. Okay, so let's go through the specs. Basically, this is an Android DAC, which is operating system is by Hiby. They customize the operating system, but it's based on Android 8.1. Unfortunately, it's 8.1, so some apps like those parametric equalizers, they won't be able to install onto this, like the wavelet and the power amp. But other than that, you can install anything that you want on this device, as long as there's the Google Play, okay, which is right here. So you have the Google Play. You can install anything you want onto this device. It's just that it's not a phone. The screen is 1280 by 720p, so it's not a very high resolution phone device. Sorry, it's not a phone, so don't compare this with your phone. The resolution is okay, it's just enough to be used as a digital audio player. The speed of this is pretty okay as well. So it has a Snapdragon 425 chipset in there. The RAM is 2 gigabytes and the storage is 16 gigs. So I would say the storage is not a lot. It's not enough for me, right? I've got a lot of apps in there, but then again, I'm going to use this as a dedicated audio player, so I'm not going to do anything else except for watching YouTube on this device. On the hardware side, the device is really nice. It's got this nice chamfered edges, and I think it's something like an aeroplane type of chamfer, very nicely aerodynamically milled, I guess. Okay, on the right side of the device, you do get the power button, and you've got an LED indicator here to show you it's got a few functions. This is to show you what type of audio sampling you're getting. So like now, if I'm playing a music from the Hiby app, okay, it will then show me with the color coding what type of sampling I'm getting. At the same time, if you're plugged into power, then it will show you how much power is being charged. If it's full, then it's green. If it's charging mode, then it's red, and it's pulsing red. Okay, and then below the power button and the LED, you have 3 buttons here. The middle one is to play and pause. So if I press the button, it will pause the music. If I press it again, it will play. And then the 2 other buttons here is the skip forward and skip backwards. So if I were to press on this button, it will skip to the next song, and I press the back button, it will go back to the previous song. On the left side here, you have the volume button. I'm not really a fan of buttons when it comes to volume, so when I press on it, it will increase the volume. Okay, and I press on this side, it will decrease the volume. So I'm not a big fan of buttons, and if you saw just what happened there, I accidentally pressed, when I'm putting pressure on this one, my middle finger accidentally pressed on the skip button. So so there is a chance of accidental skips. Okay, so this is the volume button here, and next to it you have the micro SD card slot. So you can put in your micro SD card and store all your music in there. At the bottom, you do get a few ports. So on the left side here, you have your line out port, which is also the 3.5 single-ended port, whereby you can plug in any 3.5 headphone jack in there. Here you have your USB Type-C, right, on this side. In the left side, you get 2 balance out, which is the 2.5 headphone jack, right, and also the 4.4 headphone jack, which is pentagon, and these 2 are balanced, and this one is single-ended. Okay, and that's it. I think that's enough ports. There's a lot of ports in here, and if you are bringing this around, and if you've got friends, just tell them, all right, which one do you want? You can plug any headphone in it. And it comes with dual ES9219C DACs. So inside this device, you have dual DACs, the DAC chips. All right, this DAC chip, it's in my taste is linear and more neutral sounding type of DAC chip. It's a little bit thin on the note weight, and a little bit more clinical. So to my liking, I like it, but to some, they may not be able to like it. It's too clinical, too linear, and a bit too dry. Okay, so for that, you can actually go to the settings, right? So let's go to the audio settings here. So you go into the settings, and you find the audio settings. You tap on it, and here you have a few options, right? So let's talk about the Class A amp before we go down to the settings of the DAC, right? So as I mentioned, this device comes with a Class A amp mode, a Class A amp inside, and you can turn it on or turn it off. Okay, obviously if you turn it on, it sucks up the battery. Okay, takes up battery. So if you are really listening to audio, then I would suggest to turn this on. If you're not, just turn it off. And you have your low pass anti-aliasing filter here, which I don't really mess around with. And then you have your line out mode. So as I mentioned, at the bottom here, you do have the line out port. So if you are lining out to another amp, then you choose this to be lined out, and this will then disable your volume button. You won't be able to adjust the volume. Okay, and next one is the gain. So if you're listening to IEMs on this, then you will choose low gain. If you're listening to a higher IM, harder to drive type of IM, then you choose middle. And of course, if you're listening to headphones, you choose high. And then you've got your plugins. And next is the MSEB, right? So this is the app that I want to talk about regarding the DAC. So if the DAC, as I mentioned, if it's too dry, too linear for your taste, then here you can change the tuning style, right? And you can also save the tuning style according to your preference. Okay, so you can change the overall temperature. You can make it darker or warmer, or cooler or brighter. You can adjust the bass extension, the bass texture, the note weight, the voice, the female overtones, and also the sibilance, right? So there's a few functions here that you can change to actually adjust the DAC, the sound of the DAC according to your liking. Okay, so that's for the settings. Now this device has got a 4500 milliamp battery inside, and it comes with quick charge. Okay, so two things. If you have your Class A amplification on, then it will last about 10 hours. If you have that off, then it will last you about 35 hours. In the real world, which I've been using, all right, this if I don't have the Class A amplification on, this lasts me the entire day. Okay, obviously I don't listen to my music the entire day, but it lasted me the entire day, and I had about 50% of battery life when I got home. But when I had the Class A amplification on, then when I got home, I had about 30% left. But this comes with a quick charge, so it's got a 3.0 quick charge technology in there, so it charges up quickly, pretty fast, 50% to 100% in less than 2 hours. Right, so let's talk about the apps that you can install. As you can see, I've installed Apple Music on it, and there is this system-wide SRC bypass, so which means even if you have the app installed, sometimes even on Android phones, right, you can, when the song is being played out from your headphone, the device itself, it down samples the track before it gets out to your headphone. But for this device, it doesn't. So it's got this system-wide SRC bypass, which means you can play any song from Apple Music and it's at the correct original sample rate. Okay, so that's one thing good about this. For the Hiby app, or the Hiby app, it's got this remote function whereby you can actually tap on this, right? So this is the remote function. You can actually control this device from another phone. So if, let's say, this is being tethered to your amp somewhere in your house, then you can control this device using another phone with the Hiby app, and this should be the Hiby server, and then your phone should have the Hiby controller option turned on. Okay, and then you can control the playback on this device. Next, let's talk about Bluetooth, right? So Bluetooth is actually 4.3, but it's got many good codecs which I like, right? It's got the LDAC codec, it's got aptX X, aptX X HD, AAC, SBC, and Hiby's own Bluetooth codec called UAT. I've not used that one. It's Hiby's in-house developed Bluetooth audio transmission codec, and it supports up to 192 kilohertz of transmission sample rate at up to 1.2 megabits per second on the Bluetooth bandwidth. So that's really fast. All right, so I don't have that dongle which Hiby sells, and with that dongle you can actually make use of that UAT Bluetooth transmission rate. I like the LDAC. So this is my Hi-Fi Diva Pro, and it has this Blue Mini R2R Bluetooth adapter, and this Bluetooth adapter is capable to receive LDAC codecs, right? So on the device itself, as you can see, I'm already connected, and when I tap on it, okay, as you can see, it's now connected via the LDAC codec. So I'm very happy with that. I've listened to it. It's not as good as a wired connection, but it's a wireless solution, and for a wireless solution it sounds really good. And last but not least, it supports MQA. So it supports up to 16x MQA unfolding, enabling the master quality sound directly from your device. And yeah, that's about it. I think this device is a great device. The main thing is the Class A amplification. So let's talk about that. When I have this Class A amplification turned on, the sound, it sounds richer, it's fuller and smoother. It's got a nicer soundstage, and it's got less, in fact 0 to none distortion, right? So cleaner sound, more form and more body to the sound that I'm listening to when the Class A amplification is turned on. So now I have it on all the time, because when I turn it off and when I listen to that music, it somehow sounds a little bit less resolute. So yeah, once you get used to the Class A amplification, you'll never be going back. And also the DAC on this is really good. I like the sound of it. Though it sounds linear and neutral, I like that type of sound, so that I can understand and listen to the type of sound and what is supposed to be being played out. And at the same time, I can adjust the tuning of it if I don't like it, and I've got that option. So what I don't like about this, as I mentioned, firstly is the volume button, the screen, and I think the bulk of this. So this thing measures about 16 mil. Okay, if you want to compare it to my phone, right, it's almost double the thickness of my phone. Okay, this is my spare phone, it's not my real phone. So yeah, it's kind of a bulky device to hold in hand, but other than that, yeah, it's a really nice device. Okay, it's not too tall, it's not too short, and I kind of like that. It's just that the buttons, placement of the buttons is a little bit odd. It's not intuitive. And also the volume button, I wish that it was a knob instead of a button. Okay, so do I recommend this? Yes, I do. I really dig the Class A amplification. The amplifier on this is really good, and if you are really serious about listening to quality sound and music, this is the device that you should get. Right, so that concludes my review and opinion about this Hiby R5 version 2. And if you guys enjoyed this video and learned something from this video, do consider to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell so that you get notified of my future videos. Alright, so I thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Peace.